Oh my God, hello. It's Freaky Friday. How's everybody doing? I expect a small, intimate crowd tonight, which is how I like them. How's everyone doing? Let me get to my chat. Oh, who do we have? I see a Steph. I saw a Death. Thank you for dropping all the links. Katie Alexis, how you doing, my love? Hecate, Sarah K, Jessica MG, welcome in. Listen, your girl Fedora is streaming right now. Y'all can watch this on the replay. Please go support her. This'll be up on replay. I don't expect any copyright claims and whatnots. So yeah. So we're gonna do this is gonna be like a cryptids 101. Okay. Introduction. What is a cryptid? What is cryptozoology? We're not getting into any one specific cryptid on this stream, but a lot of people don't, like everyone's familiar with the Bigfoots and stuff like that. I found a very nice video from a gentleman named Anthony Payne. It is linked in my description. Please go give him the view and support him. He has a lot of fun stuff on his channel. Where I think it's like the 50 cryptids, or 50 cryptids in the world, because I'm sure there are so many that in different cultures and parts of the world we may not be familiar with. And I love it. I think I'm going to do a poll for one cryptid to cover in depth during it's going to be like the 6 weeks of spoopy season coming up. I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of research to do. That's okay, Panda Pondu. People will come on the replay, like I said. And that's fine. I get a lot of replay views, and these are my favorite streams to do, views or not. Numbers are numbers. I'm passionate about this, and that's what's important. Hey, Illyria, Different Idiom Daily. So this is going to be a fun little stream where we just kind of delve into like what are cryptids, what is cryptozoology, because there's a whole, some would say science, some people call it a pseudoscience. Hot debate. Hot debate. Oh, and for my members, you have a new member emoji. Failed. Failed. Absolutely failed. Yeah. Oh my God. I keep looking for cryptids and cryptozoology, and cryptocurrency keeps coming up, and I'm like, stop it. I hate when those people follow me on Twitter. It's so annoying. I'm like, stop it. No, I'm not interested in your cryptocurrency. Once I hit 1,000 Twitter followers, it was like a whole flood of these people. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. So we're gonna have a nice, neat, fun little stream tonight. Because deadly content is going live. Forget what time that is for me. Let me look that up. Oh, and I did hit 600 subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you to Sarah K for letting me know. She's like, congrats on 600. I'm like, what? I forget that's a thing. Listen, I'm just having fun, man. Like, I forget about all that stuff. I'm just having fun and doing my thing. So 6 p.m. Pacific. So that's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. Deadly Content is doing a stream, and I'm really fucking excited about it. Take that as you will, seeing as the subject of the stream, I don't really fucking care anymore. Sorry, not sorry. Tired of keeping my mouth shut. Cat. We have a shaking but not stir cat. I'm so glad those dual action chewables, those are the best, and I get the berry flavor. Those are really, really good. If you have access to a Costco, I get them from there. They're great. All right. Thank you. Yes. The the deadly content. I'm sure my mods will be dropping that. And also make sure you are subscribed to Death on her Death channel. She's got some shit coming up you're going to want to watch. And these are all my burb friends, and I love them. And I'll be posting Skeeter's Face of Horror on my community tab and my Twitter later. My Twitter link is in the description. We have a lot of great people to support in this community. Love them all. Really? Ooh, I might have to try them if I see them. Cooled everything down for a month. Oh my God, look, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for these, you guys. I'm so excited. Sarah Kate, thank you for being a member for 1 month. Wow. And I hate fucking Adidas. Ham and Beans, my YouTube husbands. How you doing? Genitalia Pondu, Panda Pondu, Cuts by Julie. Oh my God, I'm such a mess. Listen, I had a migraine. My brain still isn't functioning right. My head still hurts. So it's a lot. So I might be a little like, woo, during this stream because I don't so much get the migraine headache anymore. It's more of like the aura, the weird symptoms, and my brain just like shuts down for a couple of days. I'm fighting through it. Yes, definitely want to sub to our girl Death. And Lil Boots is starting to do streams on her own. Listen, it's a good goddamn time. And I'm here for it. I love this community. I was somehow fortunate and lucky enough to kind of stumble into, and they've all taken me in, and I can't appreciate and love them any more than I do, man. So, yes, deadly content will be streaming about FFG later. I highly recommend you tune in. Okay. So, cryptids, cryptozoology. Okay. So, let's look at cryptozoology first. I have a little Wikipedia page pulled up. We're going to delve into that. Let me share my screen and I will read it. Oh my God, Hammy, why? Are you okay? I go through weird sleep schedules as well. Isn't paracetamol like Tylenol? I took some Advil, but I've got to be real careful with that because I'm not supposed to take it because of like my stomach and stuff, but I have to with my headaches and like my pain, man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Hammy. I'm sorry to hear that. I'd rather just have the headache and be done with it instead of this like dragging it out for, days, and then my head feels weird and I don't know. All right. So, cryptozoology. So, I'll read this. We'll kind of go through it. Cryptozoology is a pseudoscience and subculture. I think some people would argue about it being a pseudoscience. And this is under paranormal. This is on Wikipedia. I just looked up cryptozoology. Ooh, magnesium. Yeah, I think I used to take magnesium. Thank you, Jessica. Okay. So pseudoscience and subculture that searches for and studies unknown, legendary, or extinct animals. Hold on, let me check my sound for a minute. Where's my thing? Okay, good. Legendary or extinct animals whose present existence is disputed or unsubstantiated, particularly those popular in folklore, such as Bigfoot, the Loch Ness Monster, Yeti, the Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, or Mokele Membe. I probably butchered that. I am so sorry. I take it that's probably in Africa, it sounds like. Cryptozoologists refer to these entities as cryptids, a term coined by the subculture. Because it does not follow the scientific method, Cryptozoology is considered a pseudoscience by mainstream science. It is neither a branch of zoology nor of folklore studies. It was originally founded in the 1950s by zoologists Bernard Wevelmans and Ivan T. Sanderson. Hmm, interesting. Yes, they are. Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes. Right? There was like a whole bunch of Loch Ness sightings. Yes. And in this day and age, listen, we've gone from like grainy 8 millimeter handheld cameras to everybody has a camera in their pocket. And like, every new generation of phone that comes out, like there's some pretty good cameras, man. So I want to know by the end of this stream, which cryptid do you guys want to cover during like the 6 weeks of spoopy season coming up? Um, Bigfoot, I feel, listen, I'm leaning towards like chupacabra. I'm leaning towards the chupacabra. We'll pick like the three most popular between everybody that's here, all of them. We will cover all of them, Hecate. I'm just like, which one do you guys want to do first? You know, for spoopy season coming up, like the first one. Well, trust me, we'll cover all of them because they're all so fascinating to me. Also fascinating. Kelpies. Yeah, kelpies. Kelpies make me think of those whatchamaboopsits from Harry Potter. So yeah, Loch Ness sightings are going up. Yeah, I want to see what like the top three are though. Like for like you guys will get to pick the top three, like chupacabra, this one, the other one, right? And then I'll put those top three on my community post tab. So I have my notebook. So you guys get to pick the top three of what I get to put on my community tab because y'all are here and supporting. And see, there you go. Well, Jessica MG says, you know that the chupacabra was recently spotted, but it turns out it was a wolf coyote mix with mange. Yeah, that's a lot of part of these. I have my theories on some of these cryptids, um, which I guess I can go into it now. I think some of them are so, and it varies from cryptid to cryptid, right? I think some of them are just like unknown animals because keep in mind, the world of science and academia has a very difficult time assimilating new information, right? They'd rather go off some shit some dude said 100 years ago, and it can be very difficult for new information to be assimilated in. And I'm sorry, after 2020 and the Great Panini and the Pokey Pokey Bowl, and everyone's like, trust the science and all the shit that's coming out now about it. Oh, turns out I was right. Fucking imagine that. I'm not so quick to trust the science always because I'm not saying the science is wrong. I'm saying the people presenting the science are wrong. You know what I mean? Would it be easier to set up a poll or polls on your community tab for cryptids? Either one. Either one. I mean, there's not that many of you here. So if you guys just want to like put in the chat before the stream is over what you'd like, and you can wait until we kind of cover some. I'm voting, my vote is for chupacabra because that one is one I know about but I've never really delved into. So Sarah Kate, y'all have the best fucking moderators and friends. I love you guys so much. You're the best. I love you. Oh. My chewy sound. I got really good at doing it. I could never do Chewbacca, and now I can. So we will definitely cover Bigfoot, but I think I want to maybe do like Bigfoot's so popular, and there is a lot. but maybe a lesser known one that people would still be interested in, which is why I'm kind of going for chupacabra. Okay, so I think one, cryptids are animals that have been like running around or, mated with other various whatnots, and boom, there you go. Two, they came through a portal, right? And I've heard a lot of people say that about Bigfoot. Maybe need, like a like to come through into our dimension through a portal. And three, government experiments released and alien experiments released. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What if, God damn it, Panda Fondue. What about Foodie Beauty? Listen, she, I was like, was talking in the group chat earlier, and uh Fedora's like, well, Raven's streaming, and Stephanie was like, or sorry, Steph, I didn't mean to call you that. Steph was like, well, she's streaming about something different. I almost put in there like, well, I mean, technically we're both streaming about cryptids, like DC Swiffertits and Bigfoot. They're not far off. Yay. Thank you, Steph, for being a member for 1 month. We appreciate you so much. Ooh, yeah. See, Mothman. Mothman's. Ooh, yeah. I'm down for like Chupacabra or Mothman. Mothman really fascinates me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Throw them in there. All right. So, cryptozoology is considered a pseudoscience, although I am sure that those that study it would beg to differ. So we're going to stop sharing that stream. We're going to go into this gentleman's cute little video. And yeah, so this is just kind of like a chill stream talking about cryptids and, stuff like that. Just kind of chill, because sometimes I'm not sure what to do or I need to do research. And I might start doing Membirbs only streams where you guys can help me do research, or we just like sit and chill and chat. Those are fun for me. I enjoy those. Shadow Hair, member for 1 month. Peep, peep, peep. Thank you so much for your support. We appreciate you being here. That's what I call her now. Oh, Illyria Sand, member for 1 month. Pugwudgie, why does that sound familiar to me? And this might be in this video because he's covering 50 of them. Y'all, I couldn't name 50 of them. Oh, Steph, thank you so much for gifting 1 Raven Star memberships. Kat, welcome to Spoopy Burbs. Please enjoy your custom emojis and your member streams that will be coming up. I'm going to be scheduling one of those soon. You guys are the best. I appreciate you being here and your support so much. Y'all have no idea. All right. So this is 50 cryptids in the world, and we're going to watch through this. And I think he goes through like continent by continent. So I'll watch the chat on my phone. And if there's any like you want me to look into, let me know.
The kraken is a legendary cephalopod-like sea monster of gigantic size in Scandinavian folklore. According to the Norse sagas, the kraken dwells off the coasts of Norway and Greenland and terrorizes nearby sailors.
Welcome in, Death. I mean, listen, technically cryptids are being talked about on both streams. What cryptid would DC be? DC Swiffertits. One of the best known Midwestern cryptids. Known for taking her Indiana long tits and lassoing those who would defy her. I'll see myself out.
The sheer size and fearsome appearance attributed to the kraken have made it a common ocean-dwelling monster in various fictional works. The kraken has been the focus of many superstitious sailors passing the North Atlantic and especially sailors from the Nordic countries due to their proximity and its Scandinavian origin. Throughout the centuries the kraken has been a staple part of sailors' superstitions and mythos, being heavily linked to sailors' ability of telling a tall tale. Since the late 18th century, kraken have been depicted in a number of ways, primarily as large octopus-like creatures, and it has often been alleged that Pontoppidan's kraken might have been based on sailors' observations of the giant squid. The kraken is also depicted to have spikes on its suckers.
Which I kind of believe because keep in mind, these dudes were out there in the ocean, right? A lot of times they were dehydrated, they were malnourished, scurvy was a thing. Oh my god, the parallels between all of this and the Indiana cryptids. Oh my god. That's I'm going to call the attic the Indiana cryptids. There's never been an orange in this house. Like they all got scurvy, they're all fucking paranoid and seeing shit that's not there. Wow. God damn. This is why I love to stream. Oh my god, I know, I know. See, I'm fucking entertaining, bro. This is entertainment, goddammit.
In the earliest descriptions, however, the creatures were more crab-like than octopus-like, and
Ooh.
generally possessed traits that are associated with large
Oh my
whales rather
god.
than with giant squid. A sea serpent is a type of dragon described in various mythologies, most notably
I think dragons were real. I do. I think dragons were real and we're not being told they're real and giants and all that stuff too. And yes, that's on the list. Yeah, my list is so long.
Mesopotamian, Hebrew, Greek and Norse. In antiquity and in the Bible, dragons were envisioned as huge serpentine monsters, which means that the image of a dragon with 2 or 4 legs and wings came much later during the late Middle Ages. Stories depicting sea-dwelling serpents may include the Babylonian myths of Tiamat, the myths of the Hydra, Scylla, Cetus and Echidna in the Greek mythology, and even the Leviathan. In Norse mythology, Jormungandr was a sea serpent so long that it encircled the entire world, Midgard. Some stories report of sailors mistaking its back for a chain of islands.
I know that from watching Jacksepticeye play the newest version of God Kratos. What's that called? God of War. Oh my god, I love watching him play that series.
Sea serpents also appear frequently in later Scandinavian folklore, particularly in that of Norway. The Dobar Chew is a creature of Irish.
Welcome in, Layla. I don't know. Here comes Hammy with the facts. Tiamat, Leviathan, and the Norse one are all the same one. Yeah, see, that's what gets confusing is like you'll have 5 different names, but it's all the same entity. So thank you for clarifying. Welcome in, Layla. I saw ya. I don't know if dragons would be considered cryptid. I think maybe they're more considered mythological, but I think they were real. I do. I do.
Irish folklore. It
Ooh.
resembles both a dog and an otter, though it sometimes
It's
is
so
described as half dog, half
cute.
fish. It lives in
Aww.
water and has fur with protective properties. Her name was supposedly Grace McLaughlin. Her husband supposedly heard her scream as
Jacksepticeye's last name is Sean McLaughlin. How funny is that? I just mentioned him.
she was washing clothes down at Glenade Loch and came to her aid. When he got there she was already dead, with the Dobar Chew
Oh.
upon her bloody and mutilated body.
Oh.
The man killed the Dobar Chew, stabbing it in the heart. As it died, it made a whistling noise, and its mate arose from the loch. Its mate chased the man but, after a long and bloody battle, he killed it as well. The Loch Ness
Oh, Loch Ness Monster. Was that one maybe just like a rabid otter? See, some of these I think I like are legit real and whatnot, and I think some it's like people didn't understand what they were encountering, or they like the whole chupacabra thing, like catching a mixed breed between like coyotes and whatnots, and they have mange, and people didn't know.
Ness Monster is a cryptid in cryptozoology and Scottish folklore that is said to inhabit
Rabbit
Loch
on here.
Ness in
I
the
don't
Scottish
know.
Highlands. It is often described as large, long-necked, and with one or more humps protruding from the water. Popular interest and belief in the creature have varied since it was brought to worldwide attention in 1933. Evidence of its existence is anecdotal, with a number of disputed photographs and sonar readings. The scientific community regards the Loch Ness Monster as a phenomenon without biological basis, explaining sightings as hoaxes, wishful thinking, and the misidentification of mundane objects. A large eel was an early suggestion for what the monster was. Eels are found in Loch Ness, and an unusually large one would explain many sightings. Dinsdale dismissed the hypothesis.
What do we think? Do we think Nessie is real? Before it goes to the next one, maybe Nessie's just a snorkeler. It's Chantal. Why am I like this? Oh my god, this is why these streams are so much fun. I love these are my favorite. Yeah, well, I'll have to see if I can't find them before. Hello, Catacorn Mermaid. Welcome in. It's good to see you. If it's an eel, then why does it have legs? I know. I know. I know. I don't know. I think Nessie is real. Oh. Hammy says there isn't enough food in Loch Ness to support a creature the size of Nessie. Interesting.
Hypothesis because eels undulate side to side like snakes. In a 1982 series of articles for New Scientist, Maurice Burton proposed that sightings of Nessie and similar creatures may be fermenting Scots pine logs rising to the surface of the loch. A decomposing log could not initially release gases caused by decay because of its high resin level. Gas pressure would eventually rupture a resin.
But it's got eyes. I don't know if that looks kind of fake, but it's got eyes.
Seal at one end of the log, propelling it through the water. In British folklore, the Beast of Exmoor is a phantom cat said to roam the fields of Exmoor in Devon and Somerset in the United Kingdom.
Do any of my Brits know where that's at? Are you close to there? Let me know.
Descriptions of its coloration range from black to tan or dark gray. It has been suggested that the beast may possibly be a cougar or black leopard which was released from a private collection sometime in the 1960s or 1970s after a law was passed making it illegal for them to be kept in captivity outside zoos. The livestock deaths have often been attributed to large dogs, although human attacks on the sheep have also been suspected.
Oh.
The Beast of Bodmin Moor is another phantom wildcat.
Look how pretty. I know that's not like the actual picture of it, but look how pretty that kitty cat is. Oh, I love all the fur babies. Everybody, please, if you have fur babies, please boop the snoots and give them the scritches and the smooches from their Auntie Raven. I love them all.
Reported to live in Cornwall. Bodmin Moor became a center of purported sightings after 1978, with occasional reports of mutilated slain livestock. The alleged panther-like black cats of the same region came to be popularly known as the Beast of Bodmin Moor. In general, scientists reject such claims because of the improbably large numbers necessary to maintain a breeding population and because climate and food supply issues would make such.
Can you hear me? Ooh, my Wi-Fi's dipping out. Oh no. Got one bar. Hold on. All right. Okay. We're gonna see if this passes. I got like one little bippity boop at the bottom. I want to see if this is just a bump in the road. It's 4:45 on a Friday. We all know how Raven's Wi-Fi is. Oh, I went up a bar. Yes. Okay. My Wi-Fi failed. Wi-Fi failed. All right. All right, let's get through this before my Wi-Fi is like, bitch, I'm clocking out. It's Friday.
times. It is said to have come from and lived near the Hoon River near the town.
Mm.
Depending on the account, it had either an ox-sized porcupine-like body or a mess of green hair like projections hanging from its body that were actually stinger-tipped
Oh.
tentacles which could erect into quills. Its name is derived from this shaggy appearance. The
Oh
lore
my God.
proposed that the beast was denied
I don't want to be your friend, sir. That sounds unpleasant.
access to Noah's Ark, yet survived the biblical flood by seeking refuge in a cave near the Hoon River.
Huh?
After many years, it returned to rampage across the countryside, wilting crops with its breath and devouring both livestock and humans. It was finally defeated after it killed a man's fiancée. He tracked it down and cut off its tail.
Oh
This
God.
was the only vulnerable point on the beast, and it died immediately. In Basque mythology, the Sawan, meaning Lord of the
There is a very large Basque population where I live in northern Nevada. Um, I believe the Basque. It's from like the is it from like Spain kind of area? But very large Basque population here. I, on more than one occasion, have enjoyed a family style Basque dining experience. Oh my God, it's delicious.
woods, is a huge, hairy hominid dwelling in the woods. They were thought to build megaliths, protect flocks of livestock, and teach skills such as agriculture and ironworking to humans. In German folklore, a Walperdinger is an animal said to inhabit the alpine forests of Bavaria in southern Germany. It has a body comprising various animal parts, generally wings, antlers, a tail, and fangs, all attached to the body of a small mammal. The most widespread description portrays the Walperdinger as having the head of a rabbit, the body of a squirrel, the antlers of a deer, and the wings and occasionally the legs
Jesus
of a pheasant.
Christ.
The dahu's principal distinguishing characteristic is that the legs on one side of its body are shorter than the legs on the opposite side.
So, okay, with stuff like this, okay, that looks like a deer got down, like got busy with the rabbit, and maybe that's like, a mutation or a defect or something. Very interesting.
To facilitate standing on and walking on steep mountain
Friend
slopes.
shaped. What is this friend shaped, Sarah?
In practical terms, the dahu's asymmetrical limbs allow it to walk around the circumference of the mountain in only one direction. The dahu is a staple of 20th century French popular
Oh.
culture, known in Lorraine, in the mountainous regions of eastern France, and in French-speaking Switzerland as a theme of jokes among natives and a spoof for fooling young children.
Like, here's a question. How many times have people seen, like, things happen in nature where reproduction and whatever, and they've seen like a regular old, like, mountain goat or something, but it had mutations. It had things wrong with it to the point where they're like, oh, it must be a whole nother, like, weird creature thing. Interesting. See? So I like doing these. It makes you think.
Its popularity began to soar toward the end of the 19th century.
Friend shaped.
Since
Watch
the
you bet.
last decades of the 20th century, the dahu is widely
Oh,
recognized as a fictional creature, a joke, and a
friend
metaphor
shaped.
for a tall tale. This legend
I
has been
want to
widely
pet.
perpetuated by Swiss foreign language teachers intending to educate their poor students who have been deprived of the knowledge of the Swiss
Oh.
national animal. In alpine folklore, the tatzellworm is a lizard-like creature, often described as having the face of a cat, with a serpent-like body
Oh.
which may be slender or stubby, with four short
See, this to me screams demonic. Screams demonic.
legs or two forelegs. The alleged creature is sometimes said to be venomous, or to attack with poisonous breath, and to make a
Oh.
high-pitched or hissing sound. The tatzellworm of Austria and Bavaria is described as having poison breath, said even to be lethal.
Oh.
The Brosno dragon is a lake monster.
There's a cryptid in Indiana too that also have venomous breath. All the air that comes out of them is venomous. I'm not saying who it is.
Which in Russian folklore is said to inhabit Lake Brosno, in western Russia. It is described as resembling a dragon and is the subject of a number of regional legends, some which are said to date back to the 13th century. Rumors of a strange, giant creature living in Lake Brosno have existed for several centuries. One legend says that the lake monster scared to death the Tatar-Mongol army that headed for Novgorod in the 13th century. Batu Khan stopped the
No, 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 no.
and Novgorod was saved. Old legends describe an enormous mouth, devouring fishermen. There are some scientific hypotheses concerning Brosnia. One of them is a gas version saying that when hydrogen sulfide goes up from the lake bottom it makes water boil up. This boiling in its turn resembles a dragon head. But the amount of hydrogen sulfide must be considerable to produce this effect. The vegetable lamb of Tartary is a legendary zoophyte of Central Asia, once believed to grow sheep as its fruit.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry. Listen, we all know. Oh God, we all know about the Venus flytrap. It's carnivorous, right? We all know about the Indiana Venus flytrap, but you got a whole ass plant growing a whole ass. Wow, this is wild. Vegetable lamb of Tartary. This is wild. And we are now in Asia. These are Asiatic cryptids. Yeah, my Wi-Fi's cutting in and out a little bit, but we'll just get through it.
When all accessible foliage was gone, both the plant and sheep died.
What?
And his book, The Vegetable Lamb of Tartary, in 1887, the lamb to
Ah!
be the fruit of a plant, sprouting forward from melon-like seeds. Others, however, believed the lamb to be a living member of the plant that, once separated from it, would perish. The vegetable lamb was believed to have blood, bones, and flesh like that of a normal.
Yeah, there's nothing I can do about it, you guys. I'm sorry. I do not have the ability to have an Ethernet cord in my room because there's no like phone jack. And even if we did, this place is so old. We have like one working phone jack that the Wi Fi is plugged into in the living room. Yay.
Lamb. It was connected to the earth by a stem, similar to an umbilical cord, that propped the lamb up above ground. The cord could flex downward, allowing the lamb to feed on the grass and plants surrounding it. Once the plants within reach were eaten, the lamb died. It could be eaten, once dead, and its blood supposedly tasted sweet like honey. Its wool was said to be used by the native people of its homeland to make head coverings and other articles of clothing. The only carnivorous animals attracted to the lamb
Oh,
plant were wolves.
I
The bisan is a fowl-like bird with origins stemming from Japan.
that reminds me of Busan or Busan, which is in southern Train to Busan. It's like one of the best zombie movies. I cry like a little bitch baby every time I watch that movie. It's so good. It's so good.
Japanese mythology and folklore. It is said to live in the mountains of Ayo province. According to the
Nice.
description on the illustration, it resembles a large chicken and breathes ghost fire from its mouth. It is described as having a
Not just fire, ghost fire. Look at this art though. Look, I love this is part of the reason I love doing shit like this. Look at this. Like you can tell from the region and the culture and their history and how these things come to be, how the stories develop. Like look at this art. Wow, this is so fucking cool. Look at this. It's so cool. I really do appreciate this kind of shit. I love it.
bright red coxcomb and spits an equally brilliant hued fire.
Bussin'.
The fire is a cold fire, a glow, and it does not burn. In Japanese folklore, the Tsuchinoka, literally translating to child of hammer, is a snake-like being.
I'm sure the description of this little cute little reptilian baby is gonna be fucking horrific, but this is this is cute. If it's not going to eat me or steal my soul or spit venom at me, I would consider having one as a pet.
Tsuchinoka are described as being between 30 and 80 centimeters in length, similar in appearance to a snake, but with a central girth that is much wider than its head or tail, and is having
Girth.
fangs and venom similar to that of a viper. According to legend, some Tsuchinoka have the ability to speak and a propensity
Okay, so is this a really fat snake or lizard without arms and legs? Oh,
are also said to have a taste for alcohol. Legend in the Gobi
come
Desert.
on.
The creature first came to Western attention as a result of Roy Chapman Andrews's 1926 book On the Trail of Ancient Man. The American paleontologist was not convinced by the tales of the monster that he heard at a gathering of Mongolian officials. None of those present ever had seen the creature, but they all firmly believed in its existence and described it minutely. It is shaped like a sausage about 2 feet long, has no head nor leg, and it is so poisonous that merely to touch it means instant death.
Nope. Nope. Someone get the raid. Somebody get the fly swatter. Absolutely not. Nope. Nope. No, ma'am.
In Mongolian folklore, an almaz is a creature
I didn't know DC was actually gonna be one of the cryptids. I was joking, but here we are. Oh my god. Here we have DC Swiffer Tits, and also known as Indiana Long Tits. I can't. Somebody come get my router. Get the router. Oh my god. I can't. I hate myself. No, I'm joking. I love myself. I'm fucking hilarious. I'm a good goddamn time. Wow. With those fucking long tits.
or deity said to inhabit the Caucasus and Pamir Mountains.
Oh.
Nikolai Przewalski describes the almaz, as related to him under the name, man-beast, as follows: "We were told that it had a flat face like that of a human being, and that it often walked on 2 legs, that its body was covered with a thick black fur, and its feet armed with enormous claws, that its strength was terrible, and that not only were hunters afraid of attacking it, but that
Okay, hear me out. DC and uh, uh, right? Like little genetic little bam. There bam. That's all I'm saying.
the inhabitants reside in the remote mountainous forested
Ooh.
regions of western Hubei.
Oh, see, every culture has a Bigfoot too. Like, is this not Bigfoot esque? This is more Bigfoot esque than the DC long tits one. Every every culture region on Earth has a Bigfoot of some sort. That makes me think that shit is real, and it's however it got here is here. And yes, Harry and the Hendersons is one of my favorite movies. Ah,
In Himalayan folklore, the Yeti is a monstrous
see,
creature. The entity would
see,
later come to be referred to as the abominable snowman in Western
abominable.
popular culture. The names Yeti are commonly used by the people indigenous to the region, and are part of their folk beliefs. Stories of the Yeti first emerged as a facet of Western popular culture in the 19th century. According to H. Seeger, the Yeti was a part of the pre-Buddhist beliefs of several Himalayan people.
Mm.
He was told that the Lepcha people worshipped a glacier being as a god of the hunt. He also reported that followers of the Bon religion once believed the blood of the Mirgod, or wild man, had use in certain mystical ceremonies. The being was depicted
Strange tracks are about a foot long. Those found by British mountaineer Dr. Ward look like they were made by a 2-legged creature.
as an ape-like creature who carries a large stone as a weapon and makes a whistling swoosh sound. The misidentification of Himalayan wildlife has been proposed as an explanation for some Yeti sightings. A langur monkey living at lower altitude
Nope. Fridays are for Freaky Friday. I will maybe stream that sometime tomorrow. Fridays are sacred. They are Freaky Friday. And yeah, that's what I do here on Fridays. Trust me, his meltdowns will always be there, but I'll see what's up and I'll probably cover it tomorrow, hon.
Or the Tibetan blue bear. Extinct giant ape Gigantopithecus. However, the Yeti is generally described as bipedal, and most scientists believe Gigantopithecus to have been quadrupedal, and so massive that,
Ooh.
unless it evolved specifically as a bipedal ape, walking upright would have been even more difficult for the now extinct primate than it is for its extant quadrupedal relative, the orangutan. The buru is an aquatic animal featured in a foundation.
That looks like a Komodo dragon. That looks like, oh, my calendar was reminding me that tomorrow is Mick's birthday. I'm just saying. Yes, thank you for reminding me. That looks like a Komodo dragon. I don't know if Lil Boots is still in here. I know they gotta get ready for stream. But does that not look like a Komodo dragon?
Myth of the Apatani people. Stories of the migration of the Apatani to their present location in the Zero Valley of Arunachal Pradesh tell of a swamp occupying the valley, inhabited by fierce, crocodile-like creatures. Draining the swamp and destroying the creatures allowed them to cultivate fertile paddy fields and settle the valley. The last buru was said to be reported by a young woman, who sighted it in a spring one night while she was drawing water. The startled lady told her father about the incident. The next day the whole village helped fill the spring with stones and clay. The ahul is a winged cryptid. Some portrayed the creature as a giant bat while others claim it is flying primate. In 1927, Dr. Ernest Bartels encountered the ahul again. Bartels was
Ooh.
laying in bed, loud and clear cry seemed to utter, ahul. Although it mainly eats local fauna, such as large fish, it will, opportunistically, occasionally attack humans. Most likely because that the creature animal is extremely territorial and an opportunist, meaning it will
Ooh.
creatures that appear in the folklore of Flores, in Indonesia. The Naj
Which I believe the photo being shown looks to me to be Aboriginal from like Australia and Tasmania. That's what that looks like to me.
people of Flores describe the Ibu Gogo as having been able walkers and fast runners. There are also legends about the Ibu Gogo kidnapping human children, hoping to learn from them how to cook. The children always easily outwit the Ibu Gogo in the tales. The Umabozu is a sea spirit from Japanese mythology.
Oh,
It
Jesus.
dwells in the ocean, usually emerging during storms, and sinks ships,
But that looks like a big ass human. Oh, hold on. I gotta let the boys out. I think it's dinner time. You want to go find Grandma and let you take food? Go on. Go on, Jasper. Jasper, come. Come on. You got it. Hold on. Fatty. He's like, but I don't want to get up. I'm like, get up and go eat dinner. Okay. Why does this look like a whole ass person though?
of skin that varies from gray to black, bald heads, a torso that appears to be made out of storm clouds, and serpentine limbs.
Oh,
If
storm
they are
cloud
in a
torso.
particularly
Okay.
bad mood, they may ask for a barrel to fill with water to drown the crew. The only way to avoid this unfortunate endeavor is to give them a bottomless barrel. There have been rare reports
I don't like this. Listen, eyes, weird eyes freak me out because the eyes are truly the window to the soul. Like when we watch certain people and react to certain people, I pay attention to all that shit. Their eyes, their body language. Nope, I don't want to be your friend, sir.
of somewhat small umabozu appearing in large numbers close to the shore. This is thought to possibly be
Yes,
some
please drop Deadly Content's link. Make sure you are subscribed to them, have notifications on. They are streaming in about an hour, and you're going to want to be
ritual, but is bad for fishermen, as they avoid the water entirely, out of fear, when this happens.
Ew.
This can be devastating to small fishing villages, as they have no other way to get food or money.
Jeez. America. So this is the Americas it's showing, north and south, and including Canada.
Cadborosaurus is a sea serpent in the folklore of regions of the Pacific coast of North America. It is said by witnesses to resemble a serpent with vertical coils or humps in tandem behind the horse-like head and long neck, with a pair of small elevating front flippers, and either a pair of hind flippers, or a pair of large webbed hind
So that's like the Pacific Northwest, Alaska, up there and stuff.
flippers fused to form a large fan-like tail region that provides powerful forward propulsion. The carcass of a decomposing basking shark is often mistaken for caddy and has fooled experts and laymen. A rotting basking shark may also resemble a decomposing plesiosaur. There have been more than 300 claimed sightings during the past 200 years.
Mm,
Bigfoot in
Jesus.
Canadian folklore and
The Bigfoot is the Bigfoot.
American folklore. Forests of North America. According to David Dageling, the legends existed before there was a single name for the creature. They differed in their details both regionally and between families in the same community. Ecologist Robert Pyle argues that most cultures have accounts of human-like giants in their folk history, expressing a need for some large
I think giants were real. There's if you look up the Lovelock giant, Lovelock is like 4 hours up I-80 from me. Fun fact, that's where OJ Simpson served his prison sentence. Um and the local indigenous tribe um has a legend of like this big red-headed giant that would come and like eat them and attack them, and they supposedly locked it into this cave, and it's known as the Lovelock Cave. These red-headed giants have been found all over the world. There's stories of them in Iraq and Iran, which is the correct way to pronounce it. Um, and yeah, I believe that the giants were real. Maybe this is like maybe Bigfoot's like an offshoot or like a cousin, you know. I don't know. This is why I do these streams because I'm like, hmm, I wonder.
larger-than-life creature. Bigfoot has become better known and a phenomenon in popular culture, and sightings have spread throughout North America, but specifically in Windber, PA. Rural areas of the Great Lakes region and the southeastern United States have been sources of numerous reports of Bigfoot sightings, in addition to the Pacific Northwest. The debate over the legitimacy of Bigfoot sightings reached a peak in the 1970s, and Bigfoot has been regarded as the first widely popularized example of pseudoscience in American culture. Various explanations have
Hammy, I'm not sure because the Nephilim were supposed to be like the angels that fell mated with human women, hence giants. Um I think they're two different things, but they're both real. And yes, I've heard of the giant of Kandahar or Kandahar. Kandahar. Yes.
been suggested for the sightings and to offer conjecture on what type of creature Bigfoot might be. Scientists typically attribute sightings either to hoaxes or to misidentification of known animals and their tracks, particularly black bears. The
Mm,
Wendigo is a mythological creature.
listen, I know you want, and I want to cover Wendigos and skinwalkers. I gotta talk to Creek first because I gotta talk to Creek first about that. Because you're like not supposed to say or like talk about them, or you gotta do it like a specific way. And y'all know me, and I'm like,
Or evil spirit from the folklore of the
Creek.
First Nations Algonquin tribes based in the northern forests of Canada and in Wisconsin. The Wendigo is described as a monster with some characteristics of a human or as a spirit who has possessed a human being and made them become monstrous. Its influence is said to invoke acts of murder, insatiable greed,
Mm-hmm.
cannibalism, and the cultural taboos against such behaviors. The creature lends its name to the controversial modern medical term Wendigo psychosis, described by psychiatrists as a culture-bound syndrome with symptoms such as an intense craving for human flesh and fear of becoming a cannibal. In some indigenous communities, environmental destruction and insatiable greed are also seen as a manifestation of Wendigo psychosis. The Wendigo was gaunt to the point of emaciation, its desiccated skin pulled tightly over its bones. With its bones pushing out against its skin, its complexion the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets, the Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently disinterred from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody. Unclean and suffering from suppuration of the flesh, the Wendigo gave off a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption. Stellar's sea ape is a purported
I don't like it. I don't like it. Like even just talking about him, there are certain things that it's add that energy. I'm just like, mm. So yes, I must consult with my team before talking about Wendigos or skinwalkers. And that's the last time I'm saying those words.
marine mammal, observed by German zoologist Georg Steller on August 1741, in Alaska. The animal was described as being around 5 feet, or 1.5 meters long, with a dog-like head, long drooping whiskers, an elongated but robust body, thick fur coat, and no limbs but for two tail fins much like a shark. He described the
Oh.
creature as being playful and inquisitive.
Okay, but that looks like an otter that maybe like got into it with somebody, like this one over here, and like lost its arms but still survived or was born without them. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Again, genetic mutation. I don't know.
Much like a monkey. After observing it for 2 hours, he attempted to shoot and collect the creature, but missed, and the creature swam away. However, Steller had made his account before he had ever encountered a fur seal. The thunderbird is a legendary creature in certain North American indigenous
Ah, yes, Thunderbirds. Hey, Isabella Wood, welcome in. Good to see you and have you here yet again. Thanks for coming. Yeah, we gotta talk Creek. We gotta plan a conversation.
peoples' history and culture. It is considered a supernatural being of power and strength. It is especially important, and frequently depicted, in the art, songs and oral histories of many Pacific Northwest coast cultures. In
Mm-hmm.
Algonquian mythology, the thunderbird controls the upper world while the underworld is controlled by the underwater panther or great horned serpent. The thunderbird throws lightning at the underworld creatures and creates thunder by flapping its
Ugh.
wings. Stories of the thunderbird were based on discoveries of pterosaur fossils by Native Americans. In American folklore, Chessie is a sea monster said to live in the midst of the Chesapeake Bay, similarly to the Loch Ness Monster. Over the years there have been many alleged sightings of a serpent-like creature with flippers as
So then this makes me question, like, is there something out there where it's like, okay, like the same things or similar deals are being spotted in different parts of the world? I don't know, man. It's very interesting. Bigfoot for sure is real though. Bigfoot, 100%. Yeah. I'm team Bigfoot. Yep.
part of its body. Although there are alleged photographs of Chessie, there is no genuine evidence of its existence. At least one report of the monster has been identified as a visiting manatee. In Georgia folklore, the Altamaha is a legendary creature, alleged to inhabit the myriad small streams and abandoned rice fields. According to the Brunswick News, the legend has its roots in Muskogee tradition. An alligator gar has been
What'd you call that? The Dover Demon. Yeah, Jersey does Devil is another one. Oh, come on, little pen. I ain't got no ink. Dover Demon. Jersey Devil. I think I know which ones I'm gonna put on the community thing. Ugh, yeah, that looks like a gar.
proposed as being a possible identity for recent sightings attributed to the creature. The Bear Lake Monster is a being appearing in folklore near Bear Lake. The myth originally grew from articles written in the 19th century by Joseph C. Rich, a Mormon colonizer in the area, purporting to report secondhand accounts of sightings of the creature. In recent years, the
Mm,
monster is considered to be a tourist attraction. The last reported sighting of the monster was in 2002.
oh
Not all
wow.
descriptions of the Bear Lake Monster agree, but one team of folklorists stated that it is reported to resemble a serpent, but with legs about 18 inches long on which it marauds along the shoreline. In the
Oh.
folklore of South Carolina, the lizard man of Scape or Swamp is an entity said to inhabit the swampland of the region.
I've heard about this.
First mentioned in the late 1980s, the purported sightings and damage attributed to the creature yielded a significant amount of newspaper, radio, and television publicity. Researcher Ben Radford states that this is a compelling story, but several important aspects wither under skeptical scrutiny. In southern New Jersey and Philadelphia folklore, the Jersey Devil is a legend.
See, and this is why I would refer to you on certain things, Creek, because I know that that is, I don't know. I feel like that's your area, and I would want to talk to you or have you up, because I feel like you're going to give me better information, give us better information.
Legendary creature said to inhabit the Pine Barrens of South Jersey.
Nah.
The creature is often described as a flying biped with hooves, but there are many variations. The common description is that of a bipedal kangaroo-like or wyvern-like creature with a horse or goat-like head, leathery bat-like wings, horns, small arms with clawed hands, legs with cloven hooves, and a forked tail. It has been reported to move quickly and is often described as emitting a high-pitched, blood-curdling scream. The legend states that Mother Leeds had 12 children and, after finding she was pregnant for the 13th time, cursed the child in frustration, crying that the child would be the devil.
Mm-hmm.
During 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around her. Born as a normal child, the 13th child changed to a creature with hooves, a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. Growling and screaming, it beat everyone with its tail before flying up the chimney
Jesus
and heading into the
Christ.
pines. In Arkansas folklore, the howler is a creature said to
Negative energy.
dwell in the Ozarks. According to tradition, the creature
Oh.
is bear-like in shape with a gray-colored, shaggy coat. The Fouke
I don't like that one. I don't like.
monster is said to have been seen in Fouke in Miller County, in Arkansas, during the early 1970s. The creature was accused of attacking a local family. Initial sightings of the creature were concentrated in the Jonesville Boggy Creek area, where it was blamed for the destruction of local livestock. Later, sightings were
Oh.
reported several hundred miles to the north and the east of Fouke. The monster may initially have been created when misidentified bears were seen and some of the purported tracks may have been forged. The Honey Island swamp monster is described as bipedal, 2 meters tall, with
Again, it's a Bigfoot looking one. What if there's like a whole family tree of Bigfoots out there? Look at this. It's I.
with gray hair and yellow or red eyes, and accompanied by a disgusting smell. The first claimed
Well,
sighting was in
yeah.
1963 by Harlan Ford, a retired air traffic
He ain't using Cobb's tactical soap on a daily basis to wash his ass. I'm sure he fucking stinks.
controller who had taken up wildlife photography. After his death in 1980, a reel of Super 8 film showing the creature was found among his belongings. The idea of a large, ape-like creature in the area is not without its critics, notably the local ecologist Paul Wagner who, with his wife Sue, run nature tours in the area. Neither they nor their Cajun guide, Robbie Charbonnet, have seen any evidence for it. The skunk ape
Yes, that's the correct spelling of albinism, Greek.
is a humanoid creature said to inhabit some southeastern U.S. states, with reports from Florida being most common.
Oh
It is named for its appearance and unpleasant odor. The skunk ape is reported to resemble the Sasquatch of the Pacific Northwest, but is typically shorter in comparison, has long patches of fur on the shoulders and arms similar to an orangutan, and is often described as a mottled rusty red color as opposed to the Sasquatch's brown or black coloration. During the COVID-19 pandemic, several Florida businesses have used the skunk ape's reported foul smell giving incentive to remain at a distance and evasive nature to promote social distancing. The Dover demon is a creature reportedly
Oh, there's your Dover demon. Who brought that up, Illyria? And no, Diff. She meant albinism, as in albino. Where's Illyria? Here's your Dover demon.
sighted in the town of Dover, in Massachusetts on April 1977. 17-year-old William Bill Bartlett, Mike Mazzocca and Andy Brody claimed that while driving, he saw a large-eyed creature, with tendril-like fingers, and glowing eyes on top of a broken stone wall on Farm Street in Dover.
Huh.
The teenagers all drew sketches of the alleged creature.
Ah!
Bartlett wrote on his sketch, "I swear on a stack of Bibles that I saw this creature." Some suggested that the creature may have been a foal or a moose calf. Police told the Associated Press that creatures reported by the teenagers were probably nothing more than a school vacation hoax.
No, 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 no. I don't like that thing. I don't like no, 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 no.
November 1966,
Mothman. Mothman.
men who were digging a grave at a cemetery near Clendenin, in West Virginia, claimed to have seen a man-like figure fly low from the trees over their heads. This is often identified as the first known sighting of what became known as the Mothman. During the next few days, other people
Oh,
reported
God,
similar
Illyria.
sightings. 2 volunteer firemen who saw it said it was a large bird with red eyes. After the December 1967 collapse of the Silver Bridge and the death of 46 people, the incident gave rise to the legend and connected the Mothman sightings to the bridge collapse.
Yep.
Folklorist
And there were sightings of it before September 11th, a couple things in Chicago. Like there's actual like pictures of it. It's Very intriguing. I am Team Bigfoot and Team Mothman.
Jan Harold Brunvand notes that Mothman has been widely covered in the popular press, some claiming
Mm-hmm.
sightings connected with UFOs, and others claiming that a military storage site was
Thanks, B. Drive safe.
Mothman's home. He notes that recountings of the 1966-67 Mothman reports usually state that at least 100 people saw Mothman, with many
Yep.
more afraid to report their sightings, but observed that written sources for such stories consisted of children's books or sensationalized or undocumented accounts that fail to quote identifiable persons. Brunvand found elements in common among many Mothman reports and much older folk tales, suggesting that something real may have triggered the scares and became woven with existing folklore. The chupacabra is a legendary creature.
See, it's all the good ones. All the ones I'm like, ooh. Okay, so I don't know. So maybe Chupacabra, Mothman. I wrote those next to each other. Or maybe I think I'll pick those as the top three. Wendigo. Okay. All right, let's get through this.
In the folklore of parts of the Americas,
Whoever
with its first
tits.
purported sightings reported in Puerto Rico in 1995.
I think Chupacabra is I've heard several people say that don't ask me who or what we were talking about. Um Aliens. Basically was left here and like is misbehaving, or they left it as an experiment, or but aliens.
The name comes from the animal's reported vampirism. The chupacabra is said to attack and drink the blood of livestock, including goats. Physical descriptions of the creature vary. It is purportedly a heavy creature the size of a small bear, with a row of spines reaching from the neck to the base of the tail. Eyewitness sightings have been claimed in Puerto Rico, and have since been reported as far north as Maine, as far south as Chile, and even outside the Americas in countries. Many of the reports have been disregarded as uncorroborated or lacking evidence. Sightings in northern Mexico and the southern United States have been
Mm-hmm.
verified as canids afflicted by mange. According to biologists and wildlife managers,
Text to speech meant to say canines. I knew people that like lived in the states would go visit in this area, go visit their family in northern Mexico growing up, and that is like some of the stories. I wish I still talked to them. That come I heard crazy, crazy coming out of there about the chupacabra and stuff. Aliens, aliens.
officials, the chupacabra is an urban legend. The minhasau is a creature from Brazilian folklore that is variously claimed to be a large fish or to resemble a worm measuring
What the
20 to
hell?
50 or even to
Oh,
80 meters. The minhasau was described to European explorers and naturalists in the 19th century by locals in Brazil. French naturalist Augustin Saint-Hilaire described in December 1846
what
accounts of the
the hell?
minhasau in the Padre Aranda and Faya lakes, with claims that they lived in the lakes and had often dragged horses and horned cattle under the water. The minhasau has been blamed, without
Ew.
sightings, for damage to local
That looks like a really angry earthworm with toofs. Natter? That you?
roads and the appearance of deep trenches that appear after long spells of rainy weather. Claims of a rumbling sound like thunder, accompanying its movement, led to suggestions that the minhasau was simply being used as an explanation for seismic activity in the area. This rumbling sound was also claimed to
Hmm.
presage a period of rainy weather. In Brazilian folklore, the mapingari is a monstrous entity said to live in the Amazon rainforest. Depiction
Okay, that's fucking wild. That its head is one eye and its abdomen is a big old mouth with some toofs. I don't know, man.
of the mapingari vary. Sometimes it is described as a hairy humanoid cyclops, while others
Holy
claim it to be
shit,
similar to the
bro.
giant ground sloth,
Ah.
an animal extinct for thousands of years.
See, look, like it's all kind of cute and slothy up here, right? Like this. Okay, ignore ignore the huge mouth with the vicious looking teeth in its abdomen. That gives me sloth. Like Bigfoot sloth. Look at the little baby sloth on its shoulder. Sloths are so fucking cute. I love a sloth. This gives me sloth.
But which some believe the mapingari to be a cultural memory of. The creature is often said to have a gaping mouth on its abdomen.
Why? Okay, now we're going to Africa. Fuck yeah.
Congamados are large pterosaur-like cryptid living in semi-tropical regions of Africa. It resembles a pastiche of folkloric flying monsters. Its name means breaker of boats or overturner of boats, as the Congamados are said to have capsized the canoes of natives and attacked people who ventured too
Ew.
close to the nearby rivers. It is interesting to note that a good portion of modern Kangamato sightings happen in a prime birdwatching site, and yet birdwatchers never report anything, indicating that Kangamato may in fact be a case of mistaken identity. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, European
It looks like corn on the cob. Look at it. It looks like corn on the cob.
explorers ventured into the jungles of West Africa and found dozens of undiscovered species like the bongo and the okapi. Along with confirmed species, they also brought back tales of bizarre beasts that they learned of only through African legends or brief glimpses along the shores of
I
steamy
know.
jungle
I'm
rivers.
sorry.
There are dozens such creatures, but the dingonik
Mouth
takes the
too.
prize as the weirdest of them. It is said to be a carnivore that can choose to hunt or devour nearly whatever it wants, save for elephants. This is because of it having tusks that are over a meter long and being so large, ferocious and aggressive that even large bull hippos fall prey to it. In East African folklore, the Nandi bear is a creature said to live in East Africa.
Oh,
It
yeah.
takes its name from the Nandi people who live in western Kenya. In the area the Nandi bear is reported.
Which this makes me think like Wolverine, honey badger don't give a shit. You know, this gives me like that kind of vibe.
From. Descriptions of the Nandi bear are of a ferocious, powerfully built carnivore with high front shoulders and a sloping back. Stories of the Nandi bear state that it is fierce, nocturnal, stands on its hind legs and can kill animals. There is no scientific evidence that the Nandi bear exists. Alleged sightings are suggested to be misidentification of known species. The Emila ntouka is a cryptid reported from across West Central Africa, described as a hairless elephant-sized animal with a crocodile-like tail and a large horn on its nose. Lucian Blancu first proposed the theory that the Emila ntouka could be an unknown species of large, semi-aquatic forest rhinoceros. It leaves tracks very similar.
I could see that. I could see that. Listen, fuck the ocean. Fuck the ocean. We don't know what the fuck the nope. 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 Nope.
To those of a rhinoceros, with 3 toes
Fuck
or claw
the
marks,
ocean.
except they are the size of an elephant's tracks. Despite its herbivorous diet, it is also said to be very aggressive and foul-tempered, killing elephants, buffaloes, and hippopotami which wander into its territory by tearing, stabbing, and puncturing them with its horn. In Congo River Basin mythology, Mekele Mbembe is a water-dwelling entity, sometimes described as a living creature, sometimes as a spirit.
That looks like a brontosaurus. That looks like a whole ass brontosaurus.
During the early 20th century, descriptions of the entity increasingly reflected public fascination with dinosaurs, including aspects of particular dinosaur species now known among scientists to be incorrect, and the entity became increasingly described alongside a number of purported living dinosaurs in Africa. Over time, the entity became a point of focus in particular among adherents of the pseudoscience of cryptozoology and young Earth creationism, resulting in numerous expeditions led by cryptozoologists and funded by young Earth creationists and groups with the aim of finding evidence that invalidates scientific consensus regarding evolution. Paleontologist Donald Prothero remarks that the quest for Mekele Mbembe is part of the effort by creationists to overthrow the theory of evolution and teaching of science by any means possible. Additionally, Prothero observes that the only people looking for Mekele Mbembe are creationist ministers, not wildlife biologists.
Now we're going to Australia. Yes, Bethopotamus is also a cryptid.
In New Zealand folklore, the Waidoriki is an otter-beaver-like creature. It is usually described as a small otter-like animal that lives in the South Island of New Zealand. There are
Okay.
many theories on the Waidoriki's
Diff, this is your area.
true identity, such as it being an otter, beaver or pinniped. Evidence for the existence of the Waidoriki is mainly based on sporadic accounts of an unidentified amphibious animal in the country's South Island spanning well over 200 years. The Waidoriki would be most remarkable if it exists, due to the fact that New Zealand is one of the few significant landmasses on Earth to have no recent native land mammals. The bunyip is a creature of Aboriginal mythology. It lives in swamps, riverbeds and waterholes all over Australia. Aborigines used to tell tales of creatures that stalked the waterways and ate any prey item that come close, and the creatures had developed a taste for people, mostly children. Many of the modern sightings that have come from Australian people come in a wide variety of descriptions. One of the first recorded accounts of the bunyip took place in 1818.
I find the creatures that are like a mix of reptilian, and then like a furry thing creep me out the most. Cause like no, it does. I don't like it.
When James Meehan and explorer Hamilton Hume both found enormous bones in Lake Bathurst, located in New South Wales of Australia. They described the creature similar to a
Bethopotamus,
manatee or a hippopotamus. It is believed the bunyip could also be a surviving diprotodon. Yowie is a fanged humanoid marsupial or
See, again with the Bigfoot ones. I'm telling you, Bigfoot is real. Too, too many. I don't care if we're over in Asia, Africa, up in the snowy lands, the Americas, down here in New England and Australia. I'm telling you, it's not a coincidence.
Great ape, featured in Aboriginal mythology.
Bigfoot.
It is considered to be the Australian Bigfoot, and contain many
Ah!
primate-like features, possibly indicating that it is an undiscovered species of great ape or prehistoric human.
Look at it, just holding that kangaroo. Like, this is my snack. I'm just having a little snack. You do. Throw a kangaroo on the bobby. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Diff. I'm so sorry. I will never do that again.
The yowie is described as being one of the most aggressive Sasquatch species, and has been
Yowie.
reported tearing heads off of kangaroos and dogs.
Ah,
It has been
Jesus
seen
Christ,
attacking
bro.
humans as well. Some cryptozoologists theories that the yowie could be some form of
Calm down. No one needs to be ripping anyone. Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends? Wow. Some of those I had never heard of. Put some kangaroos on the bobby. Oh, wow. So very interesting. I find it interesting that a lot of those are, it again, it could be common things like otters that are goats that have a genetic mutation, have been injured and survived, but it healed weird. Bigfoot is fucking real because they're every fucking where. Stuff like that. Mm, we need to add to the Wikipedia DC Swiffer long DC Indiana Swiffer long tits and Indiana hunchback man baby. Oh, you're welcome, genitalia. Pondu every Friday. Usually, sometimes I take a Friday off. We'll be here. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up for spoopy season. Probably starting a couple of Fridays. I may or may not skip a Friday coming up. It depends on how much research I can get done. I'm trying to plan everything out. I'll make a whole ass announcement. It's gonna be great. So I'm gonna put up in the community poll. Let's do Jersey Devil. Um, Creek is the when is the Wendy's different than the Walker one, or are those the same thing? I get confused. Um, and Chupacabra. So Jersey Devil, Chupacabra, and then we'll see what Creek says. Chupacabra. They're different. Okay, which one do you think we should do? Wendy's, um, or the Walker? Ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Okay. All right. I don't know. Maybe let's do a Wendy's. Do you want to do Wendy's or? Yeah. See, look, Wendy's. Okay, we're gonna do Wendy's because that's gonna be our code name for it. Okay, because you gotta have a code name for it. But I gotta put it in the poll. Okay. So that was a fun little intro into cryptids and cryptozoology and learning about. I'd never heard of a bunch of those because again, it's very very much unique to the region and the culture and the area, and I find it fascinating. So, okay. All right, we'll do that. I will get with you. We'll see which one wins the poll, but I will definitely do streams on those, as we go along. Um, and Creek can help me out with those because I trust what her knowledge on that. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go grab a little bite to eat, and I'm going to see you over in Deadly Contents stream in 26 minutes. Um, appreciate y'all so much. Thank you to all my members, everyone who sent a milestone or a super chat. Everybody just for showing up and on the replay. Shout out replay crew. I will probably be back sometime tomorrow to cover some fun stuff. And Sunday I should be doing Roots with Ozza for sure. Okay. I will talk to you guys later. Look out for them cryptids. But if you hear a dragging sound, don't look behind you. It might be DC Swiffer Tits coming for you. Ha 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 ha. Good night.